Collectors. It's such a mystery to some people. Who are the collectors? Where do they hang out? How can I get them in front of my work? What kind of advice do you have to offer on that topic? How do you expand your reach?
How do you expand your reach? I mean, you get out there, you meet people. You don't stay in your studio every night. She's already expanded her reach. But I think it's really a lot of word of mouth. I mean, when we were in Bishop Arts, we were this little bitty gallery, and we'd have designers come in and just be floored. They'd walk in and go, "Wow, but we can't believe this gallery's here." And then we had all these kind of first home buyers that were buying houses next to one another at a certain place over in the M Streets or somewhere. And they started telling one another, "You've got to go to this gallery." Because our prices were not, crazy high, and the quality was great. They liked my work, and they started buying, and they started telling, and those people told, and it just became an accumulative thing. And being down there for 6 years, we won an award recently. We had no idea we were even in the running for Best Gallery in Dallas.
Congratulations.
But
give it up for Ginger Fox, Best Gallery in Dallas. Woo!
Yeah, but they recognized our name, I suppose. I don't know. But I think expanding your reach is social media, your friends, your family, people who purchased your work. Somebody said, get everybody who's purchased a piece of your art to take a picture in their home and start posting it on Instagram. I mean, that now is where you've got such a reach. I mean, Instagram.
So to kind of clarify what Ginger said earlier, Ginger got Best Art Gallery of the Year by the Dallas Readers' Voice Awards. I actually was Best Local Artist for the Dallas. So we both got it this year. It was really kind of surprising. But to develop your collectors, you are creating a relationship with people who have your art on the wall. You're telling a story that they get to see every day on their walls. And so part of that is being able to be up on social media, getting out on Instagram, being out on Facebook, and developing those relationships, going to other shows. It's very important for you to go to other galleries and go other exhibits and get to know your other local artists, because you guys all work in synergy together. And when you have a cluster of artists together, you guys create a socioeconomic community. And part of that is a really great thing, because your collectors over here and your collectors over there, when you get together and you collaborate on projects, you bring more people in. And that's one way to develop some of your collectors. But your collectors are going to follow you throughout your life and your career. And I have quite a few of my collectors who have been blown away over the years, because I've always been diligent about keeping track of what my collectors are up to. They're part of your family. These are the people that have purchased your work, and they're funding your career. But I also want to know intimately, how are they going? So every once in a while, if I haven't heard from someone, I'll shoot them an email. And they're like, oh, wait, when is your next opening? I want to be there. I want to talk with you. So it's not just about people buying your artwork. It's about creating that relationship in an ongoing relationship with people. And you're creating a really a visual arts community. Not only with the buyer, but with the artist as well. And that's something that we should cultivate.
Awesome. Karen?
Collectors. Well, I kind of came around things backwards. By taking the route that I took, my reproductions, kind of got me out there nationally, and so I've done it backwards. I sold original art in the beginning. I had a branding agent for like 2 seconds that taught me some key things in a very short amount of time. And Holly Hunt, which is a high design showroom, who picked up my original work right off the bat. And I really didn't know who that was. I was pretty naive to everybody in the industry. Apparently she's, the Oprah of that level of design showrooms. And I think for me it was very intimidating, that level, but sold my originals out pretty overnight. And it's a different world. I think collectors, you scratch your head and I think y'all are better at that side. I guess I have collectors, but I don't know who they are. We have one guy that bought like 12 pieces on One Kings Lane and contacted us directly, and so I mean, it's the part I honestly miss. I do, and I miss having a price point that made you accessible. Once your originals start getting hiked up there. I don't know. Have y'all seen that documentary, The Price of Everything?
Yes.
Oh my gosh. I mean, to me, that's a whole nother world, and that really helped. I stepped back and went, you know what? You have to be realistic, and if you think outside the box and don't always look at it like it's this world that you have to self-promote. I mean, that's it in a nutshell. You have to be willing to think outside the box. Instagram, and I guess that's where we get our collectors. We don't do the traditional art gallery shows. We have a studio and people make appointments, but yeah, so I'm probably the worst person to ask for.
So I guess what I'm hearing here is consistency. Make it personal. Get to know your collectors on a personal level, and just using the resources that are available to us, like social media. I think as well, something that I can kind of chime in on is, I travel to many of the shows, and one of the things that always kind of I hear is, well, I didn't see any collectors, or I didn't see a collector. What does a collector look like? And I'm thinking about you, Andrew, because when Andrew came to our San Francisco show, Andrew sold about $15,000 worth of work, and we have this kind of mental image of what a collector looks like, that they're this, wearing tweed with the glasses on the end of their nose, with their hair slicked back, this antiquated kind of version of a collector. Whereas out in San Francisco, these tech kind of money people were coming in sweatpants and sneakers and baseball caps and spending thousands of dollars. So I think if I can offer any advice, it would be treat everybody who comes to your gallery, your space, your exhibit, whatever, treat them the same. You don't know who it is. You never know if they're, in the market. We had somebody in New York who was a buyer for a hotel who, came and 6 months after he saw the artist's work, he got in touch and commissioned him to do like 20 plus pieces for his hotel. And he was in sweatshirt.
You just never know who you're talking to.
You seriously do not. So yeah, just, absolutely.
So I kind of have to expand on it a little bit. As a visual artist, it is our job to tell the story in our paint every day. And the people, going back to the San Francisco exhibit, which was tremendous, Laughing Monk Brewery was amazing. It was a blast. And I had invited a lot of friends that I had out in San Francisco that showed up. But you literally never know who's a collector. You never know who has the money. And so you cannot discriminate against anyone that comes and observes your art. It's very important that you treat everyone that surrounds you equally, because you never know who they are. And I like to dress down sometimes, show up to events, and just see who I interact with. And because I don't have to be who I am, but I want to interact authentically. Always be authentic. Always treat everyone equitably. Having equity in the arts is a huge thing, and we all need that.
Awesome. We actually had an adjudicator who decided not to wear her badge, and she went round and did the rounds without her badge on, and then she went round again with her badge on. She said it was a notable difference when people actually knew who she was. So there's definitely a lesson there for sure.